My name is Trey and welcome back to Reload Reacts. Today we are going through r/scams, where we see the lowest of people taking advantage of the innocent. This next post is by Chessington Surrey. Amazon rang. Said someone ordered an iPhone. I had an argument with them. I wouldn't hand over a verification code and kept denying it. I have two-factor authentication. Kept saying deny to the password change and they kept telling me off, saying I had to read out the code. I told them no, someone is trying to compromise my account. They are going to report me. I've removed my card from my account as a precaution, and I've changed the password to a generated one. They seemed very confident on the phone. I am worried there will be some sort of fallout where they will target my number and accounts. Are they tech savvy, or are they just trying to get into my account using verification codes? Is there anything else I need to do? Amazon didn't call you, a scammer called you. They're not going to report you because there's nothing to report. This is why scams are so important to look out for. If you're not cautious, you might be got. This next post is by Space Cadet. Can someone explain this scam to me, please? So I work in retail and I'm sometimes on the cash register. A few weeks ago, my manager let me know of a scam that hit our store and lost us a lot of money. And while I understand the process, I'm not really understanding how they benefit. It almost happened today, I think, which is why I'm curious. A woman comes in and has about $18 worth of product. She gives me a $100 bill, which was real according to the bill scanner, and I go to give her change, which was like $82 and some cents. To which she says to just give her two $50 bills, and she'll give me the change from that. Edit. A lot of people are missing the part where I say she's going to give me change from the two 50s. Obviously I know, if I give her $100 back and she walks away, then she's just gained $18. It sounds exactly like what my manager had warned me about. She said people had come in, given a lot of money and asked for a portion back, and then somehow they lost money? I said no. That I was just going to give her the $82 in the form of one 50, two 10s, two 5s, I ran out of 10s, and two $1 bills. She kept insisting that I give her two 50s, and she was like, I don't think you understand me. And I was just like, ma'am, I understand you just fine, I'm just not going to do that. But she still wouldn't take no for an answer, so I called the manager over, and she said the same thing I did. Finally, she left, but I was still confused as to what she was trying to do, so I asked my other manager, but he didn't really explain it. He said to just be careful. No Champion says, it's called a quick charge scam. Basically just confuses the cashier by exchanging multiple bills to benefit the scammer. This next post is by D. Bodie. I had a call center career for 20 years. Yeah, I know. And one thing I'm thankful for is call center experience is quickly picking up on phone scam queues. Not today. Holy crap, this guy was good. My mother received a phone call from an agent that her Apple Pay has been compromised and he wanted to walk her through filing a fraud report. I didn't hear the beginning of the call, but the moment I heard her talking to someone about fraud, I told her to put it on speakerphone. There's no way this guy didn't have previous call center experience. The phone voice, the patients walking her through iPhone navigation, explaining why they need the info they're asking for. They need the info to report to Apple as part of the claim. No hesitation from this guy. He had an answer for everything. Everything seemed above board from what I could glean. The call was going on for a while, and time ran into me needing to take a Zoom appointment, so I go to a separate room. My appointment took a long ass time, but even when I wrapped up, my mother was still on the phone with this agent. And that's when it happened. I'm walking back into the living room as my mother rattles off a series of numbers that sounded familiar. Mom, did you just give your full social security number to that guy? Yes? Hang up! They're at the bank right now. I have no idea how far this goes. The agent was talking her through every app to confirm any additional fraudulent charges, Cash App, Venmo, etc. The scammer would discover a transaction for a ridiculous amount of money that would make anyone balk and say, "No, I didn't make that purchase," followed by the scammer building rapport with my mother, joking with her, "Yeah, I didn't think you would take a quick trip out of state to Illinois for the day, haha." Social engineering, y'all. Edit. Oh god, oh my god. While I was in my meeting, my mum says she provided the guy address, driver's license, photo front and back, and pictures of her face for Face ID. This next post is by Suitable Stuff. So a few months back, someone Venmo'd me $500 and immediately messaged me on social media asking for the money back. After looking online and seeing this as a common scam, I blocked him and just waited to hear from Venmo, as it says on their website to let the sender reach out to Venmo to handle it. Now they have messaged my friends, saying they are going to take legal action on principle. Should I send the money back? I just don't want to get scammed and I thought Venmo would take care of this. But I also don't want any legal trouble or anything. I don't know if the legal threat should be more of a red flag for a scam or proof that they are a legit person. Appreciate any advice, thank you. Whoever the spine says, do not send the money back. Don't spend it either. It's between the sender and Venmo. This next post is by Basement Rob. This was a wild experience and a new scam tactic I hadn't seen before, so I wanted to post here and see if this or something like it has happened to them. I ordered a new Apple computer a couple of weeks ago. It was being shipped from the factory in China through UPS, ordered from the Apple website. Everything was pretty much normal, other than a 1-week delay, up until delivery day. The day before delivery, the tracking said that it was at the local UPS department and would be delivered the following day. The morning of delivery day, I checked the tracking again, and it said that at 5:30 AM the package was put on the delivery vehicle. But then at 6 AM, the receiver had submitted a request to reschedule the delivery. I had not sent anything to them to reschedule the delivery, so I contacted them and asked why this request had been submitted. Customer service at UPS had no information for me as to why this had happened, but after a bit of frustrating back and forth and transfers to and from the international department, since the package had been shipped from China, I managed to get them to contact the delivery driver and tell him to still deliver the package. Then a request to reschedule the delivery was submitted again, and again I went through the paces with customer service to make sure the delivery was made that day. After this whole ordeal, the delivery driver dropped off the package and I signed for it. He made a comment on how it had been quite the ordeal and I agreed, but was thankful that I had received the package at the end of all of it. I had opened the box and started getting the new computer set up when all of a sudden someone rang my doorbell. I opened the door and a random man who said he was an Uber Eats driver told me he needed to pick up a package that had recently been delivered. He was on the phone with someone who was telling him and me that the incorrect package had been delivered and that they needed to take it back so they can send me the correct item. I told him no, I received the correct item, but he kept insisting, and the Uber Eats driver and I started looking at each other, picking up that this was a scammer. He suggested I tell the man on the phone that I wouldn't return the package until he sent me the correct item, just to see if this would throw him off. The guy on the phone started stammering, and eventually he said okay and hung up. The Uber Eats driver cancelled the pickup on his end, and I thanked him for helping out. I figured that'd be the end of that. But an hour later, I spotted another person coming up the driveway. This time, I had already seen him walking towards the front door. I opened the door and he said, "I'm here to pick up a MacBook," to which I simply replied, "No," and he pretty much got the message and left. I'm assuming he was another Uber Eats driver. Haven't had anything else happen since all this. It was crazy to slowly put the pieces together throughout the day that someone was trying to intercept the delivery and went all the way to sending Uber Eats drivers to my house to try to take the package away. Has anyone else experienced this delivery scam before? I later learnt that apparently Uber Eats does have this package pickup service. Seems like it could be a bit sketchy and open up avenues like this for scammers. Classic ad says, "Yes, This is becoming a common scam. The scammer hopes that the package is left on the porch so the innocent Uber Eats pickup driver will scoop it up and deliver it to the scammer. Now the scammer has a nice new electronic item for the cost of the pickup fee. While most computers and cell phones are signature required on delivery, not all are. This next post is by new customer. Got a phone call from the bank that there were fraudulent activity on my account. They told me where the charges were from and the exact amounts. When I confirmed that I did not make the charges, they said they'd have to lock the account down and that they sent me a code they'd need me to repeat back to them. The code came from my actual bank, and I stupidly repeated multiple codes back to them multiple times. They then sent me a reset password link and the temporary password I needed to use. I was on the phone with this scammer for like 30 minutes. Once I got off the phone, I had a gut feeling and called the bank right away, but it was too late and they wiped my entire checking account and savings accounts. I can't even believe I was so stupid, but here I am. And this is why you need to be cautious. If you don't think you can be scammed, you're the most susceptible to them. Update: the bank called me, claiming fraud, and was able to tell me the exact amount, company, and the location. I logged into my account and confirmed the charge was in fact there. They told me they needed to send me a code, which came from my actual bank, to lock my account to avoid further charges, and I stupidly gave them this information. My account was wiped almost immediately through an instant transfer. The bank informed me they would refund me the $3 it cost the scammer to transfer thousands of dollars out of my account. They then sent me a notice telling me the investigation was permanently closed, and that was that. Anyway, I filed a complaint with the FDIC, who told me to file a complaint with the CFPB. I was contacted by the bank and given a permanent credit with extreme speed almost immediately after they received the complaint. I hope this may help somebody in a similar predicament because I spent so much time arguing with the bank and crying lol. Anyway, lesson learned, and never answer the phone if your bank calls. If you have an issue, hang up and call them back. This next post is by Maleficent Button. This week, I nearly got scammed out of 685 euros, and the setup was so convincing that I am simply relieved I caught it in time. I run a small non-profit art space in Ghent, and the message came through official cultural channels. Someone forwarded us an email from a woman who said she wanted to donate her late husband's Yamaha baby grand piano. It sounded like the kind of offer that could genuinely help our community. Her story felt believable. She was moving back to Amsterdam, did not have enough space for the instrument, did not want to sell it out of respect for her husband, and wanted it to go to somewhere it would be appreciated. She even sent photos of a Yamaha GC1 in a storage facility. Nothing looked suspicious. She explained that the piano was in Lyon, inside the warehouse of the moving company handling her belongings, and told us to email the movers to request a quote and arrange delivery. I contacted the moving company, even though their address was a Gmail account. Small companies sometimes use basic emails, so it did not immediately strike me as odd. Their reply sounded very professional, with estimated differences, delivery windows, and a few different price options. They even offered a small discount for non-profit organizations, bringing the total to 685 euros for delivery within 5 days. It seemed expensive, but still reasonable for a piano of that quality. Everything changed when they sent the invoice. Payment was not directed to the moving company, but to a private individual. The bank account was located in Italy, even though the piano was supposedly in France and the donor lived in Amsterdam. The invoice mixed information from different countries without any logic. The VAT number did not belong to any registered business. Their email remained a simple Gmail account. The stated purpose of the payment was family support, which clearly had nothing to do with moving services. That was the moment I searched online and discovered that this is a common piano donation scam. The story, the type of piano, the emotional angle, the request for moving costs, all of it matched the reports I found from other victims. I am sharing this because the scam is extremely convincing. If you ever receive an offer involving a free piano stored abroad, and you only need to pay for delivery, it is almost certainly part of this same scheme. These messages are also circulating through community networks and official organizations now, which makes them even easier to believe. This was r/scams. If you enjoyed, make sure to check out some other content on my channel, and also make sure to hit that subscribe button because I post new Reddit content every single day.